Hello my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. Today's video is going to be a writing vlog. It's going to be a reading vlog. It is going to be a couple days in my life vlog, if you will. So welcome, I'm so happy to have you. I'm so excited to be starting this vlog today. It is November 1st. Happy November, everybody. And if you didn't know, November is National Novel Writing Month, which is known as NanoWrimo. And I, me, Sydney, am participating for the very first time. I've always loved writing. I've always wanted to publish a novel since I was a wee child, but I have not written since I was that wee child. So is it a little bit crazy? Is it a little bit unhinged for me to think that I could write 50,000 words in 1 month after not writing for maybe 15 to 20 years of my life? Maybe. Do I have the ego and the confidence that might propel me forward enough to actually win NanoWrimo? Potentially, we're gonna see. I have the will, I just need the way. So this vlog is just going to be like the beginning of NanoWrimo, documenting how it's going for me as like basically a first-time writer. I don't know if I should consider me writing stories when I was a kid, because I mean like, sure, that counts in like historical sense, but like, I don't want to say like now that I'm trying when it matters, because it definitely mattered then as well. I don't know how to classify myself, because I'm still considering myself sort of like a first-time writer, even though that's not true because I wrote when I was a kid. What am I? Who am I? Crisis aside, let's talk about how it's going so far. Like I said, it's November 1st. It is 2 in the afternoon right now. Caleb and I actually woke up around 6:15 in the morning so that we would have time to write early before he had to go to work today. If you're wondering, yes, Caleb is also going to try to participate in NanoWrimo. Similarly to me, writing and publishing a novel has always been a dream of his, so nothing like a little peer pressure to make him try. I'm really excited to have that like physical best friend partner situation where we could both check in with each other, try to hold each other accountable in such a wild, intensive scenario. And in our early morning writing sessions, respectively, Caleb got a little over 1,000 words written and I got about 1,400 words written. Now, in order to win NanoWrimo, you have to hit 50,000 words, and that equates to about 1,600 to 700 words per day. So we both will do another evening writing session to try to hit that mark, but I wanted to just kind of check in, let you know that I'm doing this vlog and kind of talk about what my novel is going to be. Will it ever see the actual publication light of day? I don't know. It'd be super cool if it did, because I think it's a pretty cool idea. And I'm not gonna get into like super specifics because obviously it's still in the very early writing stages. So it might change like a ton of times before it actually gets the final like synopsis, because the evolution of my story has already changed. When I was first outlining my story in like my physical notebook with all of the note cards and, you know, so many different pages of everything, ideas, characters, plot points, themes I wanted to have, a literal like scene by scene outline. Where my story first started was that I wanted it to be like a cozy adventure fantasy. But if you know anything about me, like my favorite type of fantasy is high fantasy adventure, war, battle, political intrigue, you know, that sort of vibe. And so as I kept outlining, more themes like that started to creep into what I was writing down. And now at the end of the outline, it became an entire like high fantasy adventure story with political intrigue, dragons. The adventure takes place across the world to different continents and islands that I'm creating. And so it's definitely like no longer a cozy fantasy. It's a high fantasy adventure story, which is really fun. But sitting down this morning to start writing chapter 1, what I outlined for chapter 1 in here isn't freaking relevant anymore, because this is cozy fantasy for act 1, but act 2 and act 3 are like not cozy. They're high fantasy, high stakes, high reward sort of thing. I'm not sick, by the way. I'm just getting over a head cold, and I know I might sound bad, but I actually feel okay. I promise. Thank you for your concern. So sitting down for like 3 to 4 hours this morning and only getting about 1,400 words written, I don't know if that's like still a great number or if it's not too much for that amount of time, but I think that that first writing session will be one of the harder ones that I have, because the outline that I previously wrote like didn't make sense. I had to like completely rewrite the beginning of my story to make it make sense for where I want the story to go. So this morning was a lot of brainstorming alongside writing. Avi's on the couch and you're also on the couch, so you're moving a lot. She's repositioning. Hold on. Oh. Hi. You're so cute. So yeah, we're gonna have another writing session later. I only have about 300 or 400 more words to write for the day, which I feel like is super attainable, but I do have a lot of other things that I need to get done first before we get to that writing session. I have to edit this Friday's video, which is going to be my October wrap up. It has a sponsorship in it, so I gotta get it out today or tomorrow for them to approve. I filmed my monthly reset video, which is a Patreon only exclusive, so I'd like to maybe edit that as well if I can. And this vlog isn't only writing, it is going to be also reading. And in terms of reading, this week I'm going to be finishing up Our Share of Night by Mariana Enriquez, which I won't be sharing thoughts in this vlog for. It's actually for an exclusive reading vlog for my patrons, since it was my last month's book club buddy read. But for this vlog, I will be starting and hopefully finishing, I think I could finish this book in 3 days. It's Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam. It's a really short thriller, and the audiobook just came in this morning on Libby. Like, I could not be thriving more. It's only a 7-hour audiobook, so I think that I could definitely split that up over the next 3 days and have some final thoughts for you on this one at the very least. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be really fun. All I know is that it's a thriller in, I think, a single, set in a confined space of a single home. And it explores who we become in moments of growing uncertainty, which I think sounds really interesting. I've heard a lot of mixed things about it, but historically, books that are very polarizing, I tend to really like. So I'm going in with positive expectations. So I think I'm gonna start this later tonight to unwind after our evening writing session. But yeah, thank you so much for being here to hang out with me for a little bit. Throughout the course of this vlog, I hope to share a little bit more about my story and like the process that I continue to find that works for me. We're learning as we go. I've never done this before, and I'm really excited to be doing it. And I really hope that it all goes well, because I want to look back on these vlogs where I'm talking about writing as like, oh, look at her, she wasn't sure if she could do it. And I hope that I actually do it so that it's like triumphant and not embarrassing, you know what I'm saying? But we're being kind to ourselves. I am just going to go about this month doing my best. So I'm gonna try to knock some of these things off of my to-do list, finish chugging this coffee, and I'll be back soon. It's day 2. We snoozed our alarms for like a full hour today, so it's about 7 a.m.
We need to go to bed earlier.
That is an option. We got our coffee. I can feel some air movement through my nose finally, and we're gonna sit down and try to get our goals. Sir, do you have any love for your wife?
Yes, of course.
Well, that's good. Do you have any goals for your morning?
Yeah, man. Hit my word count.
Hey, your word count. That's good. That's good. What's your method?
Just sit there.
Good.
We're all fading after all. In a forest we never seen.
Hello, good morning. It was so hard to wake up this morning. We snoozed our alarms. Oh, I think I already talked about this. I definitely already talked about this. I was delirious this morning. But hi, now it's the afternoon, so let's catch up. I ended up hitting my word count goal yesterday, which like technically the goal every day is to hit 1,667 words in order to hit 50,000 by the end of the month. Our goal technically is to try to do more than that every day for the first half of the month, because now is when your motivation is like the highest, right? And there's a holiday, there's both of our birthdays in the second half of the month, so we're trying to like look out for our future selves and do more work in the first half of the month so that we don't have to worry so much in the second half. But the thing is, being a new writer, is that starting a book is very difficult. Caleb is a seasoned writer. He knows what he's doing. And it's not that I don't know what I'm doing, it's that I just have to relearn. I mean, I kind of don't know what I'm doing. What I'm doing is my best. And I think that it's going well so far. I mean, at the very least, what I hope happens is that we use this as a sort of stepping stone to try to make this a new daily habit, which, you know, is kind of the point. But gosh darn it, I want to win Nano. So we had our morning writing time. I got to 1,167 words. Then we commenced our morning routine, took Avi out, made breakfast, and Kayla went to work. So now what I've been doing, it is about 2 p.m. now. I've been doing other things. I took a break from writing. I edited my monthly reset video, which is an exclusive video I do every month for Patreon. That's posted. Posted the link to tonight's reading sprints for my Patreon. And then I went over to my YouTube community page or whatever, and I usually post my like Patreon schedule, you know, any updates that I have that I want to let the people on YouTube know about. You people, all of my people here, the people of YouTube. And I realized that in last month's community post, I mentioned that I was going to do a readathon for my Patreon centered around like me and Caleb, because it's our birthday month this month. I'm on the 18th, Caleb's the 25th. And with all of this craziness, I 100% forgot about it. And so now I have in another tab, I'm making a bingo board with a bunch of prompts centered around just me and Caleb, and it's going to be really cute. I'm excited for it to come together. I think I'm gonna make it just like a month long, like get what you can done sort of thing. And it's only the 2nd, so it's not like it's super late, but I just can't believe that I forgot about that. So Caleb and I will brainstorm and get the rest of those prompts filled in later. Half of the prompts will be from him, half of the prompts will be from me, and they'll be mixed between like reading prompts as well as just like life prompts, like things to do that are our favorite things to do. And it'll be really cute. So we'll brainstorm on that later together. But I also wanted to update you on Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam. This one right here, I was listening to it yesterday while I walked Avi, and while I was walking Avi, I noticed that our neighbors were raking their leaves out front, and me being who I am, realized that we have not yet raked our leaves, and so our front yard looked terrible in comparison. So I decided to hyperfixate and continued listening to the book while I raked our leaves in the front yard. Caleb is the absolute sweetest. I let him know about like those reading prompts and life prompts, and he said, when would you like those by? Is tonight okay, or should I sit down really quick? Like, why is he the absolute best? Wow, I love him. No, I was like, no, it's okay. We could do them later. So cute. Okay, Leave the World Behind. I'm trying to tell you. Sorry, Avi. I just dropped my phone on her and she's sleeping. I'm so sorry. My left hand doesn't work as good as my right. I feel so bad. Okay, I'm trying to see how much I have left in Leave the World Behind. Okay, I'm 37% of the way through. And that feels about right, because not a lot has happened so far, but it is a relatively short book. So it's about this family who's going on vacation to this Airbnb in kind of the middle of nowhere that's kind of off the grid. And so far it's a little bit odd, especially the writing style. I don't think I've read, I think it's third person omniscient, where like we know all of the thoughts and feelings of all of the characters at any given point of the story. I feel like I haven't read a book that has had that point of view in a while, or if I have, I haven't noticed it this much. And it's a little bit weird. I don't think I love it, but I'm still interested in the story. And like I said, not a lot has happened. They're at this Airbnb, and the owners of the Airbnb show up in sort of the middle of the night, like 11 or something p.m. And they just like knock on the front door and they're like, hey, there's a power outage. Can we stay here tonight? It is our house, so we're gonna stay here. And our main characters who are renting the house, the mom is like, I am uncomfortable with this. And dad's like, no, it's totally fine. You know, totally a man thing to do. And so they end up letting them come in and stay the night. And right now it's like the morning after. The power's still out. They're still trying to figure out what's going on with that whole situation. So far, it's just been that, like setting it up. And I feel like it's going to get really weird really quick because, you know, it's an isolated off the grid place. New characters have been introduced in a very odd way. And I've definitely caught myself thinking about it a couple times since I haven't been reading it for the last like 24 hours or so. So I'm excited to read more of it today. And I think what I'm going to do right now is make a little afternoon coffee and sit down and write for a little bit before sprints start at 5 p.m. with my Patreon. I want to try to get to at least my word count goal before then, so then I can just read during the sprints. So yeah, in terms of my story and where we're at there, I'm about halfway through Act 1, which is really exciting. And I don't know if like at the end of the story, I'll actually have like acts or parts 1, 2, and 3. I have just done acts 1, 2, and 3 to help my brain kind of break up the portions of the story of what I know what I want to happen at certain points. It's just like a further categorization. You know, it categorizes them a little bit more to where it just makes more sense in my brain. So acts, parts, whatever might not be there later, but that's what I'm referring to as acts 1, 2, and 3. So almost halfway through Act 1, or I guess maybe I'm like approaching the scene that will be the middle of Act 1. My main character just got introduced to the quest, the job that she might be taking. And that's all I'm saying because I don't know yet, you know, like all of this could be so different later. I want to keep everything very close to my chest because I have to. Emotionally, I have to. But in the B-roll, I'm sure you've seen my little like Pinterest board of inspiration. Those are the vibes. Those are the vibes. And I'm excited about it. So I'm gonna make a little coffee, and I think I'm gonna sit down and write then, unless Miss AVI wakes up from this nap while I'm making coffee. Then I might take her on a little stroll around the block before I sit down. Yeah, welcome to day 2. Seems to be going really well. I'm excited. I'm hoping that I can, you know, keep this energy up at least for a while. And I know I'm rambling a little bit, but like that's the point of this vlog, okay? This is like a cozy chatty time, and I hope it's what you're here for, because this is what's happening. In theory, with writing this book, that's such a crazy sentence to me. Like, I don't even understand what that means, you know? Like, this has been a dream since I was a kid. So the fact that I'm saying that right now is a little bit surreal, but the more that you write the book, the easier and more ideas will keep flowing, the easier it should be to keep writing. In theory, right? Like, I know not every day is gonna be good. I know not every day words will just gonna like roll off my tongue and be able to write thousands of words. You know, some days you'll only get a couple hundred maybe, who knows? I don't know where I was going with this, but my point is that it's cool and it's fun to be doing something that you were always dreaming that you would do. You know what I'm saying? Okay, enough of that. I'm gonna go make a coffee, and either it looks like I might be taking her because she is wide awake. So maybe I will take my coffee to go and listen to Leave the World Behind while we take a quick little stroll around the block. What do you think? Do you think you maybe want to? Yeah? Then I will sit down and write a little bit. Man, I really don't know what I was trying to say earlier. I don't know, but here we go. We're gonna make coffee.
We never see. We'll be sleeping, sleeping. Oh, one day, all the lonesome might be coming your way.
I decided to make a London fog instead because it was 3 p.m. by the time that I was actually gonna make a coffee, and that's a little bit late. I remember the days when I could just drink a coffee at 7 p.m. and still be able to fall asleep, but times have changed. And I need to be able to fall asleep so that I could wake up early to do this all over every day, all the time. So we made a London fog, which is like actually one of my favorite drinks ever. And of course, as you saw, Avi did get a little walkie. So let us get back to it and try to write at least 300 to 500 words, give or take. Right after I place our dinner order, because we're having takeaway tonight, I woke up with this aggressive craving for a Reuben. And there's a delicatessen in the city, which is award-winning, and it's so good. So I'm gonna place an order for pickup, and Caleb's gonna grab it on his way home, and it's gonna be so good. I can't wait. Just wanted to touch base and let you know that the Reubens from the local deli were absolutely phenomenal. I hit my word count goal for the day. I hit 1,702, which is great. Hopefully tomorrow can be a really strong day as well, because I work all weekend, and I doubt that I'll be able to write a whole bunch when I work 12 hours each of those days. So I'm going to have to make up for that slack in other days of the week, which is fine. I knew that was what is going to have to happen. And hopefully the more that I write, easier it becomes, because I'll be flexing that muscle more and more. And I hope that's what happens instead of getting burnt out. So I'm gonna try to, like, you know, be kind to myself and be very present with how I feel and what I think that I need. So yeah, we're going to brush our teeth and get ready to go upstairs and go to bed, where we will read for at least like 30 minutes or so before we get super sleepy. And then we'll wake up and do it again.
All your pain will fade to memory one day.
Hello, welcome to day 3. Once again, Caleb and I woke up early to get some writing in before he had to go to work. And I wrote a little over 1,000 words in that first writing session of the day. So I only have like 600 more words to write today to have completed my first 3 full days of NanoWrimo, which is really exciting. I know I definitely could write 600 more words today. It's just a matter of if I'll have time or not, which is test number 1, right? Like making sure that I can make time for this new hobby, make time to achieve this goal of winning NanoWrimo. So we'll see how it goes. But I did have a little bit of a crisis for about an hour and a half. And I think it was self-inflicted. I don't know if maybe like the screen time has caught up to me or not, but like I synced my document with the Dropbox that's associated with my manuscript so that I could edit my story on the iOS app, so that, you know, it's the same document and, you know, it all should be seamless across platforms. And after our writing session this morning, I logged off, I checked on my phone to see if it did indeed like sync over there correctly. It did. And then when I logged back onto the desktop desktop application of Scrivener, my total words written were like much higher than I remembered. And I thought that I did something wrong. And it took me an hour and a half to realize that I didn't do anything wrong and that it's all fine. So about an hour and a half of my day has been wasted, but I did learn a little bit more about Scrivener and how to like make sure I am doing things correctly. So, and I am, but I guess now I know that I am for sure. I don't know, silver linings, I guess. So all in all, I have 600 more words to write, which I hope I can get to later. Caleb, I think, is gonna come home and finish edge banding my bookshelves upstairs. And if he has time, sand those down so that I can help him bring the shelves themselves down the stairs and into the garage so that he can stain them over the weekend. I work Saturday and Sunday, so he's gonna have like uninterrupted time to finish my bookshelves. And when I say that, I mean finish one wall of my bookshelves. We have to do them in wall chunks because, you know, budgeting and things. But I think he's gonna like stain and finish the big wall of bookshelves this weekend. So next week, I should be able to unbox some of my books, which is really, really exciting. And you guys should be really, really excited because that means bookshelf content is finally coming. Wow, I can't wait. I can't even believe it. I can't even believe it. But after that absolute goose chase that I sent myself on for an hour and a half, I need a break. So I'm going to actually finish Leave the World Behind. I think I have like 50 minutes left on audio, which is phenomenal. I'm gonna row, try to get some like blood flow. Maybe I can get more blood flow to my brain. Then I'll have a completed book review for you, and hopefully I can knock those 600 words out and it can be a complete and satisfying end to the vlog. That is what I'm hoping for. We'll see if I can deliver. For now, I'm gonna go exercise and finish this book, and I will be back after. Hello. I did end up finishing Leave the World Behind by Rumaan Alam whilst I was rowing, and I rowed for 45 minutes and that was too long. I'm already sore and I don't want to know what I'm gonna feel like tomorrow. But this book was really interesting. As I said before, the writing style is very strange for my brain. I don't think that I enjoy third person omniscient, if that's what this is. I think it is. I just like always second guess myself when I like say a fact like that. It's like, Sydney, you're probably wrong when I think I am right, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Whatever writing style this is, I didn't really like it. And the story itself like progressed in a kind of like slow, odd way, but by the end of the book, all the themes were coming together, all of the, I don't know, lessons that were being taught, and it was pretty good. I did actually like it. Like the atmosphere and the like sheer like unknown terror surrounding this story is like, it's written pretty well because it's about this like blackout that's going on, and in some paragraphs it says what is going on with a certain character, and the next sentence will be like, what she doesn't know is that she'll be dead in 2 days or something like that. And it's like, it's awful because obviously we know what's going on, but we still have to watch them try to figure things out, and it's kind of heart-wrenching. And the ending, it was just good. I think I'm caught between like a 3.5 and a 4. I think I'll rate it a 4 on Goodreads because all in all, like even though there were more things that I didn't really love about the book, the way that I feel after I finished it is actually pretty positive, which is very weird. I would have imagined that this was a 3-star read for me, but now like sitting thinking about it, and I don't know, it was pretty good, and also really good at making you not really like the characters. There weren't a lot of redeemable qualities about a lot of them. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I finished this in this vlog at the very least. I just showered. Caleb is upstairs sanding my bookshelves, which I think I'll be able to put books on later this week. And I am going to either try to write some words and hit my 600 page mark, or start editing this vlog because it is Friday night now and this is Sunday's video. So you should be seeing this very soon. But with that being said, I work Saturday and Sunday, so I only have a very small portion of free time to edit this video as well as write the words that I need to. So I already know that I'm going to have to make up words for this weekend in my writing next week. So it would be nice to be able to hit my count today, but I also do need to have a video up on Sunday. So I'm gonna try to like manage my time tonight and do what I can. That being said, I'll pop by one more time to let you know how my evening ended up going, what I decided to do, and if I accomplished my goal of hitting my first 3 days in NanoWrimo. Still annoyed that I wasted almost 2 hours of my day freaking out over nothing when everything was fine. I could have used those 2 hours, let me tell you, but it's fine. Everything's fine. We're gonna try to be productive now. So that's what I'm gonna go do. Hi, we're ending in not great quality on my phone, and that's okay. I just wanted to update you and kind of close out the vlog. It is about 9:45 p.m. now. Caleb and I treated ourselves to some wings, pizza, and a salad, and it was very tasty. I continued to edit this video, so this is the end of the vlog. How did day 3 go is the real question. I'm going to write a little bit in bed before I go to sleep. Will I hit 1,667 words today? I don't know. I have like 500 words until I get there, so it's quite possible that I will fall asleep before I reach that. And if I do, then that's okay. I'm not going to be hard on myself because I posted 2 videos this week instead of just my normal one, so I had to put my focus in many places these last 3 days, and I think that all in all, everything worked out pretty well. So I'm happy with how these first 3 days of Nano went. I think that starting the habit of waking up and writing before we do anything is really great, and I'm excited to see how the rest of the month goes. Thank you for being here and hanging out with me during this little beginning of the journey vlog. Like, I'm writing my first book. I hope that one day it sees the light of day. That'd be super cool. Who knows? Maybe it's just for fun, and that's okay too. So we'll figure it out as we go, but thank you for being here and carrying at least a little bit. I'm gonna go get ready for bed so that maybe I can get some words in before I fall asleep. So thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you are still here, then leave the pencil emoji down below in the comments, and while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support, and of course, be kind to one another, and happy reading and writing. Bye.